Right, let's go straight to the calls. George is a Chelsea man. All right, George, what did you make of last night?
I turned it off. I was just bored of it.
At what point, George, did you turn it off? What point did you think this is enough for me?
I think, well, the first bit was when. What made me switch off originally was what was going on in the stands with the Hungarian fans and our police, and I thought that was just disgusting. The whole lot of that.
Correct.
But it was after just the usual England, a goal down, and I just thought, I can't be bothered with this. I turned it off, and then I'm sitting here listening to this today. You guys, show as always, but it's just like Southgate. I just think his in-game management is zero. His man management is zero. You know, why wouldn't England be at top of that group? They should be top of that group with those players they've got at their disposal. Any England manager of the past will probably be thinking, if only they had this opportunity. Could you imagine Glenn Hoddle in charge of those players? You know, I just feel he's clueless.
George, I've just got to remind you, mate.
They've had their go, haven't they? They've had their go. Glenn, listen, he's one of my sporting heroes, Glenn Hoddle, but he's had his go. Gareth Southgate, I get what he's all saying, and some of my mates turned it off, you know.
Yeah.
But look at his record as England manager. What has he done wrong?
I can't believe how spoiled this sounds. You know what I mean? You've just been to a final at the Euros, right?
Exactly.
You've got probably the most talented crop of England players you've ever had.
And he takes responsibility for that because he was in charge of the youth before he got the England manager.
Yeah, so to criticise his man management, I think that's a wee bit wide of the mark and unfair on Gareth Southgate.
But I think his man management, that's his strength, because the way he's managed the players and he's made them approachable for the fans, and everything outside of football that's got brought into football, like Black Lives Matter, and the way he's helped his players through this. I mean, he deserves a medal for that alone.
Yeah, he's a diplomat and ambassador, isn't he?
Absolutely. Well, it's saying that he'd be a good politician, wouldn't he?
He would, definitely, and there's probably a future for him in that. But he's not handling Jack Grealish properly, I don't think. No. I think there's something going a little bit wrong there. And surely it's it's common sense, Goffey. Look after your number one. And he's got to be the star man at the moment, hasn't he? You've got to look after him.
Well, he is for all us. He is for fans. He is for you. He is for me. He is for many, many fans out there. But I think it's quite obvious. But he didn't want to pick him to start.
Yeah.
Then it was off the bench. Then it was probably the fan power that ended up getting him into the side. It just seems to be that player where, I don't know what it is, and we know with Gareth it's all about trust.
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't trust him to deliver what he wants the team to deliver. It's obvious that. I mean, every manager has his favourites, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's quite obvious, but Grealish is not
one
Gareth's favourite.
Was it just an off day? That's the other thing, right? Is it just one bad performance after an incredible championship? What do you think?
Yeah, like I said, we didn't lose the game. If we'd have lost that game 1-0, I think there'd have been a bit more criticism. But we got a point. We still got Albania next. That's at home as well.
Yeah.
And then it's San Marino. So, I mean, we're going to qualify for it. We're going to have more great times, aren't we? We're all going to be there cheering and singing the next World Cup and enjoying it because England are going to be there.
I tell you what, I take Harry Kane.
Not.
I know. I take Harry Kane and Sterling up front for Scotland any day of the week.
Exactly.
Paul, West Ham fan on the blower. Paul, what are you saying to it?
Yeah, hello chaps, good show. The Grealish thing does my nut in a little bit really, because all the fans and that are moaning when he's not started, and then they're moaning when he's going off. But I don't know what the stats are. I'm sitting in my van, so I haven't got access to them, and I don't know if you know. But the end product for Grealish just isn't there, and I think that's Gareth's problem. He's not delivering. He's not playing that final ball for a goal. He's not creating something. All he does is he runs with the ball, which is really exciting to watch, and it is great. But he don't do anything with it because he gets knocked off the ball and he falls over.
Imagine for a second though, Paul, you're on the sidelines, you're Gareth Southgate, and you're looking at your front three, Kane, Sterling and Grealish last night. Surely he's the last of the three that you'd have pulled off, no?
No, because I would have done something different. I probably would have moved Sterling over to where Grealish was, and then put what's his name, the little mank fella? His name's
Foden. We're just getting to the crucial...
Where's he going to put Foden? Right back? I mean, no idea. Let's all guess where he was going to put Foden. The thing is, you've just got it there. And you talk about that front three and who's he going to take off. And that's why it had to be Grealish, because what he'd said the day before, he'd let us all know, but he's playing, he wants to play in that position, that's his position. Now, if it was Foden there, on the left side, further forward, he could still bring another player on and put Foden deeper. or put Foden over onto the right side, which we started at the Euros for England. So the difference is, he believes all the other players can play anywhere. Mount's played on the right, he's played on the left, he's played central. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Grealish, it's almost like he wants to play on the left and that's it.
I think it was Roy Keane the other week said that, didn't he? That Foden could play anywhere, left back, if you really wanted him to.
Can he?
But I think Mason Mount, actually, of everybody last night, is the one that be most disappointed. You know, and again, is it because he set such high standards?
Yeah, I think he's a player that, in people's memories, they think he's rubbish, then they think he's brilliant, then he's rubbish when he has an ordinary game. He's a fantastic footballer, and he's proven that with Chelsea, because no matter who gets the job, they keep picking him. Mm-hmm. He gets picked for England, and he delivers for England. But last night, again, I think they were all disappointing. There's only really Rice, who I think, when he got the ball, he kept the ball. But most of his passes were sideways.
Yeah.
There was nowhere to go, because what Hungary did, they just sat back and let them have the ball as long as they wanted on the halfway line, and England were quite happy to pass it up and back and up and back. Yeah. And that's why people turned it off.
I felt for Saka when he came on, because he made a mistake towards the end, didn't he? That could have made it 2-1, really. And you could tell he looked a wee bit sheepish when he jogged off after that, because it was a big chance. And I think Saka, of all the players sitting on the bench, is the one must be thinking, I need to be in here. But again, who'd you drop to get him in?
Well, they're all
Mason
fit.
Mount?
When you get Rashford back and Sancho back, and you've got them all in there, and Bellingham, and all players that a lot of fans out there believe should be playing, good luck picking the 11. And Gareth talks about every selection he makes now, he knows he's going to get a lot of abuse, especially if England don't get the results. But that goes to show how far we've come, and Gareth's going to take credit for that. He's now got 2 teams.
He does indeed, doesn't he?
Yeah, 2 teams.
Again, I would take that, and we'll come on to the Faroe Islands in just a second. This is Driving TalkSPORT with me, Gordon Smart, and England legend Darren Gough.